Senator Treganza Roach, you recognize for your 6 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good morning to my colleagues, to the staff of the legislature, to those in the chambers, in the listening and viewing audiences. You know, a lot of people don't take us seriously. They look at us on the TV, and we have on some nice suits and ties, and Senator Millen and Senator O'Reilly have on their nice jackets and dresses, etc. And they think we just sit here and talk. But these are very, very difficult decisions. And I don't think that in my personal life that I have been confronted with as difficult decisions as I have on the floor of the legislature. And even in my personal life, if they were difficult, I could figure them out because I would have to deal with whatever the consequences were. This is different because the consequences affect a whole lot of people. And not only do people not take us seriously, they really don't see us as being a co-equal branch of government. They really don't. So when we go to a program, they put the delegate to speak after the Senate president. Now, as far as I know, we have the executive, the legislative, and the judicial. So even in protocol, they diss us. And then the governor has about, 8 security guards following him around. The governor have a siren. I could hardly get out of the legislature yard. Nobody wants to stop to even let me out of the yard. And then when I go to the village for carnival, people could come and tell me anything. They could cuss my mother if they want. You can't even get close to the governor because they have all the people them standing all around checking you out, right? And then I come here and all I hear is what the governor's rights. The governor have a right. Hear what the message said. My message say, the governor has the right to pay whatever he wants to the people that he employs in the executive branch. So, how are people to take the advice and consent function of the legislature seriously? Yeah, a lot of us are ready to give the governor the people who he wants because he has to work with them. A lot of us are ready to do that. It was said that we haven't put out a plan about how we're going to improve the economy and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But at least we haven't put out a plan that said we want to raise people's salaries, right? And then we haven't, the person who said they're going to raise them did it very early. The governor did this very early, you know. The governor said, before even the state of the territory, he said he was going to raise the levels of the commissioners, the salaries of the commissioners. And he didn't reflect on what it meant for the other people who are employed by the government of the Virgin Islands. And we have a responsibility to those persons. Because if we're looking at a plan to raise salaries in an instant as much as 28%, and then we have other people who are wondering if they're going to have a job. The people don't be calling, are you? The children who are coming out of school, who want a summer job, or the people who have graduated or UVI or whatever, who are looking for a job, they don't be calling? I see callous disregard for that because I don't hear that being addressed. The VINGN in the newspaper said the nominee is going to be the president and CEO of VINGN and is still going to retain the position at the University of the Virgin Islands. We don't have people who are unemployed, who need to get work, who need to get paid. Are we not living in the same Virgin Islands? I believe that we have the right to say no. It isn't about setting any levels of salaries. It's about looking at the general economic picture of the Virgin Islands and making decisions that make sense in that landscape.
1 minute 30
The
seconds.
governor said he's going to hire 1,000 people, but they said they took positions out of the budget in order to accomplish these raises. It is a difficult decision because I don't think any of us has raised a question about the qualifications of people. If we could, we would pay them more. They are worth more. I don't have any problem with that idea. But I have a problem that you're going to tell me that I'm the controller of the purse strings, and you're going to tell me, on the other hand, that I don't have any say in the setting of these salary levels. And I'm supposed to go and look at the people in their faces who are making $20,000 and $25,000 and who are asking me if they're going to have to deal with a pay cut in the days to come, if they're going to have to deal with a payless payday in the days to come. That is their frustration. That is their frustration. And I think we have to respect that. And anybody who wants to call the decision political, the vote political, they're free to do it. But I believe that this is a co-equal branch of government. The governor has the right to set a lot of salaries, and a lot of salaries have been set that we don't know anything about. But the law at present says that I and you have the right of consent, advice and consent. So don't tell me I have the right of advice and consent and then tell me that I'm supposed to do what somebody else requests or requires.
Time.
That's inconsistent. I will vote accordingly when the time comes. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Senator Roach.